starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, good evening, everybody. This is Kevin Ross, and I've got Adrian sitting here. Hi, Adrian.
Hi there.
And Brenda Troisi, who is the Pacific Northwest District Chair. She is also there. Say hi, Brenda.
Hi.
Oh, excellent.
Brenda.
So this, I'm sure you all will be as pleased to hear this as we are. This is our last team briefing of the year. Ay vey, we've done a lot of these. So we will. Brenda is actually going to drive most of this one, and so I'm the guy who's going to hit next on the slides. So
all right, well, hit next.
Oh, okay. You ready for the next one?
We're ready for the next one.
Yay! Oh,
so there's two of the people who are talking.
Yes.
Adrian looks kind of funny though. Is Cindy with us tonight?
I'm looking. No.
Okay. Well, for the people who don't know, Cindy is our new Oregon Regional Director, and she will be in Portland. Next slide.
Okay.
So this is the usual deal. You're all muted, and you can raise your hand, or better yet, type your question, and we will endeavor to get them all answered, kind of collecting things together. And somebody else is fortunately going to be responsible for that, because I can't talk and think and read at the same time.
That would be us.
Yes. So next. This is just a quick overview of the things we're going to cover in this briefing: the schedule, the general logistics, load in, load out, site map, some schedule things, and a little bit about St. Louis if you're going to St. Louis. So next slide. So the schedule is similar to what we've done in Portland in the past, but not quite the same. In particular, note that on Wednesday you not only load in, but also do robot inspections. And Thursday will be half day of first come, first served practice matches and a half day of scheduled qualification matches. So this is a change from in the past that hopefully you had already heard about and won't be a surprise.
So allow me to belabor that in case somebody had missed it. This year, the game starts on Thursday, not on Friday morning. So Thursday at 3 p.m. is when we start the actual qualification matches. So we do not have Thursday. Thursday is no longer final build day.
Yeah, right. So this year we have Wednesday night, which I believe, Kevin, that will not be true next year. Is that correct? This is an aberration?
Oh, we don't know yet. I'm arm wrestling first on that subject.
Okay. All right. Well, in any case, unfortunately, you are expected to be there on Wednesday night for robot inspection, although you do not have to be there, but you're missing that time. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. Next slide.
Okay, and Michael Sang has asked the very appropriate question: how late do we go on Thursday? And we expect to be going until, well, the pits close at 8 p.m. on Thursday. We're likely to be running qualification matches right up to about 7:15, somewhere in there.
Right. We will talk more about the schedule details as we move on in this. This is just kind of the high level what's changed view. Cool. So we'll talk some more about that. Alrighty, the next page. Logistics for parking. This is the mile-up view of the Coliseum area, which is where we'll be. Most of you will arrive on I-5 and come down. Oh, you know what? I don't have a cursor, which is going to be...
Oh, I can do it. Here we go.
So you see North Broadway?
Yes.
Above the colored area. You'll come off I-5 and you'll come down North Broadway on the northern side of the complex there.
Whoops, sorry, I hit the wrong button. Wait, I hit the wrong button twice. At least I'm consistent.
Okay, so you see the red arrow where the Benton lot is. What you want to do is arrive at the Benton lot, and you'll get there on North Broadway, which is on the north side of the Benton lot. The parking garages are all around there, so that is probably where you will park. There is some on-street parking north of Broadway. Most of that is now metered, and the meters do not run a full day. They're 2 to 5 hours, and they run until 10 p.m. at night. So you probably do not want to try for on-street parking. Although, and the meters run Monday through Saturday, so unless they're otherwise posted. There are a few unposted spots around that red arrow, as that red arrow runs up towards the left upper corner of the window there. But anyway, that's the situation on parking. And if you need to leave a trailer or a bus, somewhere. The Benton lot has in the past been available. I never got confirmation that it was available again this year, but I assume it will be. And I believe that costs $20 a day. Is that what? Yeah, $20 a day. So that's the story on parking. Next, please.
Will you take a look at the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoops.
That's a next button.
I know. It's not like, there we go.
Oh. Okay. For those of you who are staying in a hotel in Portland, you can take MAX or the buses directly to the Coliseum, and you can check TriMet, which is our transit system, the website, which is a very good website for details on how to get there. But there is a stop right next to the Coliseum. And that's all I want to say about that.
Brenda, can I interrupt for a second? Sure. We have a question. After paying the $20 for parking, do they have in and out privileges?
You know, I've never done it, so I couldn't swear to that, but I would think, I don't really know.
So maybe ask when they pull in and pay, ask the attendant?
Definitely. Now, when we're there on Wednesday night for load-in, that will not be a pay-to-park thing. As long as you stay with the vehicle. In the past, it's, you know, people have just been in and out, and so we've never had to pay. I'm not sure what will happen this year when people want to get out of their car and go in to do, you know, inspections. So we're going to kind of have to see how that goes. I've not been in that exterior parking lot, so I don't know if they post a person in that booth that night. I don't think they do. So it's possible we'll pick that parking up that night for free. I don't know. I never heard back from Mindy on the parking thing.
Bring money for parking and realize that Washington First Robotics nor Oregon First has any control over the parking. That is true. Yeah, we're just kind of telling you what is. We don't really actually have any control over it whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay, so next slide, please.
Okay.
About food. In general, outside food and beverages are not allowed on the premises. There will be concessions available. Again, I didn't hear exactly what is available this year, but in the past it's been a Subway cart and coffee that are available all the time that the pit is open. Technically, you're not allowed to bring in any food or water. They have not watched that very carefully, but we certainly don't want to be flagrant about it. I would certainly encourage you to bring water bottles for your team. And box lunches are available, and the order form is actually not available on that website they're listed, Kevin, but it is available on the US First website if you go there, and it's also available on the Oregon First website.
It will be available on it, yes.
That order for box lunches is due by April 7th. I believe you fax it in, if I recall.
Correct, and Brenda, for the teams that
you can tell.
Brenda, for the teams that qualified this weekend and won't know until Saturday, they will accept orders on Monday for those teams, but they have to fax them in Monday by 3.
Okay.
But if you know you're going, they'd appreciate it if you do it early.
Yeah, you need to do it now.
The deadline is the 7th, which is Monday. I'm sure they would prefer to know now. That is true. Okay, and there are places you can tailgate outside. We'll talk about that when we look at the site map. Don't let me pass by that map without discussing that. And of course, as always, this is Oregon. Please clean up after yourself. Okay, next slide. Schedule overview for Wednesday. The pits will open at 5 o'clock and will be open till 9 o'clock. And this will operate the same way it has in the past in Portland. The bag and tag check-in line will be at the main pit entrance, which is where we moved it to last year. There will be 2 lines at the pit entrance, and we'll talk about that when we see the map. And then there will be a robot work period from 5 to 9 as well. Team registration is not going to be on Wednesday. It is going to be on Thursday. Pit admin didn't want to have their registration person there. Your goal for Wednesday night is to pass inspection and prep, and if possible, connect to the field so that you're ready to go first thing in the morning. That is the schedule overview. So let's look a little more closely at load-in, and we'll get that out of the way. Next slide. Okay, Jonathan Rossell here is our load-in supervisor. He's a ref, so don't annoy him when you're there. And there will be no assigned times this year. In the past, we've had assigned time slots. Since we didn't know for sure who'd be there, there are no assigned times. If you plan to load in on Thursday morning, please let me know so that we can expect you, so we won't be looking for you on Wednesday night, and that we'll have somebody out there to deal with you on Thursday morning. I'm kind of assuming there will be no Thursday load-in people, so we will be lightly staffed unless you tell us otherwise. Please pack for quick load and unload, large bins, not loose items, wheeled carts and bins, things like that. Portland is very constrained in its parking situation. We can only handle about 11 teams. We can handle 18 teams an hour. We can handle about 8 teams at a time in the lot. So that, of course, is not very fast throughput. And so we would like to speed that up significantly this year, which means that you guys need to pack accordingly and move very quickly. Offload your vehicle as fast as possible to get the vehicle out of the space, and then carry your stuff into the space. Note that safety glasses will be required during load-in this year, since there will be work in the pits while you're loading in. So please have them out and ready for use when you arrive. That means don't put them in your bins and expect to go into the pit and then unload them. We want them on your face when you get to the door for load-in. All right.
So, Brenda, I'm going to answer we have a couple of questions with the same basic theme to them. So everybody got an email from me earlier this week saying that we made a significant change to the schedule. The actual only significant change to what we had published in September is that the pits still open at 5. They always have. The pits now close at 9, and you are allowed to work on your robot between 5 and 9. And so I want to make sure everybody's aware that that is the significant part of the change. I mean, it is a significant change, but we didn't take anything away from you, nor did we actually change the time frame, other than the teams from the Seattle area have until 9 o'clock to get there.
Yes.
The other major change is that you can bring as many people as you need to work on your robot on Wednesday night. So the pits are just flat out open. Having said that, there isn't going to be any other activities available for your students. So if you were originally planning on having the bulk of your team come on Thursday, that would be just fine. I think that's a completely legitimate thing to do, and just bring the key people who do your pit setup or load in on Wednesday. We understand that this is a change. This was in response to concerns that many teams raised about starting the event on Thursday. So there you go. Hopefully I'm answering the basic questions. The other basic questions are, yes, you may have more than 5 people in the pits on Wednesday, and yes, the practice field is likely to be open. The official field may or may not open in time for you to do practice rounds on Wednesday. So we're not actually scheduling anything on Wednesday night on the official field. All that is going to happen on Thursday.
5-inch wheels.
Yes, that 3 to 5 additional people there is people to haul your material. We don't want you to show up with 3 people to work on your robot and not have enough, and a semi full of equipment to offload. The point here is to have enough people to actually move your material. You can bring as many total people as you wish.
Yeah.
Okay, next slide.
Okay.
Which should be the map.
Oh, was the map?
Oh, okay. Well, no. This is just the process, which is the same as last year. And oh, what did you added something here? Have no powers. Okay, right. The parking. So we're actually going to walk through this on the map. So if you could move forward to the map, I will talk us through it where we can actually see the picture for people who haven't been here before. This is that Benton lot where the wait for open slot text is. That was on that previous map. You're going to come down Broadway on the top from the right. You will turn onto Benton Avenue, and you will enter the Benton lot at that arrow pointing to wait for open slot. And someone will meet you there, ask you how many vehicles you have, whether they're all available, including your paperwork, because you won't be allowed into the North Stage parking lot until all of your equipment is there at once, so that you can go through check-in. As a space becomes available across in the North Stage lot, which is down there where it says for unload, you will be flagged out of the Benton lot and across the street there on Winning Way into the lot where it says number 4. And this is where we want to minimize your time in that lot. So the trailers will do a wide double loop through there. You will not have to back your trailer. Non-trailers will park along the right side, and the equipment will all be offloaded from the vehicle as soon as possible, and then you will start hauling it in. And the driver will immediately return to the Benton lot and remain there with their vehicle, or find a parking spot for the evening. And as I said, the north side of Broadway is likely to have some free spots on the street after business hours. If you cross Broadway on Benton and look down in there, I don't know about if you have a trailer, but it will be metered though. Alrighty, so let's look at the next slide. And it's interesting. I thought I had a map. So the load-in process inside, again, safety glasses need to be on your face when you arrive at the door. And I'm sorry, I need to look at that last one there. You're going to take your robot to the check-in queue in its bag with the bag and tag paperwork, just like you did at the districts. And there will be a separate line where everything else goes directly to your pit slot. A robot inspector will actually be watching both of these lines. One will be scrutinizing your bag and your paperwork, and the other people, of course, will be looking at making sure you're only bringing in kosher stuff. So there you go. You can unbag as soon as you get the okay. Here's the map showing the interior flow. You can see on the left over here the blue arrows of the circulation through the parking lot. The trailers take a loop that's actually not quite that deep. There are vehicles, non-trailer vehicles down the side. We want all of the equipment to move through the side so that vehicles and vehicles and equipment aren't crossing, and the people in the parking lot will help you with that. You follow the red arrows down the entrance to the pit. You'll go around that blue square is a fountain. You'll go around that fountain, and that first doors there, back up, Kevin.
Yeah.
Where you first come in, go down right there. Those are glass sliding doors. We always manage to knock those doors off the track, so please try to be very careful with those, because that doesn't make us very popular with the venue. Then you'll go around that corner and come into the main pit entrance, and this is where you'll split into 2 lines. One side will be the robot, the 45 pounds, and the paperwork, and the other will go into the pit. So that's the deal there. Let's see. You must, again, have your safety glasses on. And since we have the site map here, this is a good time to talk about the site map. If you haven't been to the Coliseum before, where it says pit there, that big open area at the top, above that, at ground level, is a huge open terrace which does have a covered area. So you could eat out there. And then there are 2 stairs that come down. If you come down towards the bottom of that pit area, you'll see 2, well, you see those 2 black things that look like ladders sideways? Keep going left.
Oh, these guys?
Right there. That's a stairs on both sides. That pine court and on the other side the fountain court are open areas that you can access from that terrace above. And I believe the rim of those is a covered area if it's raining. Certainly where the red arrows are for load-in, that's some of that is covered. Those are good places to set up to eat lunch with your team. And also you could, of course, use the parking lot. The North Stage parking lot is lightly used during the day. And you could, if it's raining, I suppose, eat in the covered parking lot across the street. So those are possible places for you to eat. The robot traffic, you want to show them the robot traffic pattern just in case they haven't been there before?
So we're going to, you're going to come out here, and you're going to go down the hallway, and then the robot traffic comes right in this door over here. And out on
only robot traffic goes
only robot traffic down here.
The public goes, show them those stairs where the public goes up and down.
That is here, right?
Right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Those stairs go up to the stands, which are above all of this area where the hallways we've been wandering through here, looking down onto the field, of course. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see, mentor meeting. The mentor meeting is likely to be in that big central area there, right there, which is unlabeled. Volunteer check-in will be to the left of it in one of those rooms. And over on the right at the bottom of the stairs, right, the room down where the judges are, that room is probably where the scouting seminar is going to be on Thursday, which we will talk more about. Alrighty. that's the aerial. Next slide, please. For loadout on Saturday, of course, if you even think that you might be going to St. Louis, you want to rebag your robot and complete the paperwork, and we'll talk more about St. Louis later. The limited lot size, of course, really constrains our throughput, so we want to minimize your vehicle time there. So what we do for loadout is that we ask that you pack, if you're not in the finals, to start packing during lunch and load your vehicles during before the closing ceremony, sometime during the afternoon, and most people do manage to make that out. What we want you to do is completely pack your pit. Then you check in with the checkout table, which we don't know where that will be at the moment, but pit admin will know. And that check-in table will ask you to move all your gear to a pile near the door, at which point you'll send your driver up to get their vehicle. And when they arrive at the parking lot, we will coordinate via radio the rendezvous so that the car and the equipment arrive both together in the lot and not the vehicle sitting there waiting, etc., if you know what I mean. That's the way loadout works on Saturday, and it's of course a total zoo once the closing ceremony ends and those last 12 to 15 teams load out. So just remember to be patient, get yourself moving and organized, and we'll get it done.
And the key thing to remember on this is that we have a great set of volunteers who have a process in place to make it fair and easy for everybody. Please do us a favor and follow their instructions, even if they don't seem to be what you would have done. We'd really appreciate it.
Especially in the parking lot. Think at the airport, the arrivals place with the guy with the whistle. We don't have whistles, but it's kind of like that. They'll want to keep you moving through that parking lot as quickly as possible. And if you're not actively loading, you don't belong in that parking lot, and they will try to get you out of there. Do not leave your car. The driver should never leave the vehicle when they're in that lot. It really messes up our traffic flow if we get a vehicle without a driver in it. Alrighty, so that is that. Phew, done with loadout. So on to inspection. So it's going to be similar, of course, to inspection at the district events, and because of the schedule, you will not have the robot access period, so Kevin will stress that again, I'm sure, no robot access period. Do not open your bag before you get to Portland. The inspectors are there to just, make sure that everything goes smoothly. Please be gracious to the inspectors. This has been an issue. And if you need any help, just flag them down and they'll help you. So let's move on to the next one. Remember that Wednesday is your fix-it opportunity. Even though you've already passed inspection at any of the districts you've been to, you will be re-inspected. Do not assume that you will pass immediately because there's been a lot of miles on your equipment, especially those bumpers. Give those bumpers a really good looking over because the inspectors certainly will be. And be prepared to spend some quality time with the inspector and to work graciously if necessary to bring your robot into compliance. And I can't emphasize that graciousness too much. If they ask you to do something, you must do it before you will be allowed on the field. And you can dilly-dally all you want, but all it's going to do is delay your ability to get out on the field. So just do it and get it done. Alrighty. That's it. Your goal is to pass inspection and be done. Bumpers. Did I mention bumpers? Bumpers are going to be the biggest problem this year always. Look yours over carefully and verify, of course, that your frame and your moving components haven't been torqued out of shape such that they now exceed the perimeter specs, which is one of the problems we've been seeing as the events go on. And then notice this important change about bumper ballast, which doesn't really mean too much to me. Kevin, do you have anything to say about this?
Please, you need to investigate the rules on your own and read the Q&A so that you understand if you're planning on making your robot heavier by adding things to the bumpers, you need to understand this. Brenda and Adrian and I are not allowed to make rulings on this sort of stuff. We are merely telling you that there is a change that is different than what we did at district models. You need to look into this on your own and understand and follow the rules.
I just lost the visual. Does everybody else still have the visual?
I do.
We do.
Oh. Okay, well.
No worries.
There we go. Came back.
Yay.
Okay, so that's Alita asked for this information to be added because apparently there had been some change, so she just wants you to be aware of that and make sure you check on it. Okay, next slide. So again, the key concept here is gracious professionalism. The inspectors are just doing their job and trying to ensure a level playing field. As always, remember to reflash your radio at the WPA station, and we hope that you will manage to have some fun along the way. So that's that. Next slide. And of course, as always, you will need to connect to the field before the end of the practice matches. It might be available on Wednesday evening for this task, but if you have not done a practice match, then you need to take your robot to the field. And Kevin, this is where you can help. Do they do it at lunch? Do they do it, when's the drop dead date on connecting?
Well, the inspectors will come around and very graciously haul your whatever state your robot is in out to the field sometime probably right about lunch or just after lunch. We really need you to get connected to the field by the end of lunch because some of these fixes take time to process. If we have to reflash your firmware or monkey around with stuff, the fixes are almost never complicated, but some of them are time consuming. We will not be very generous to you if you do not connect to the field and subsequently have problems out on the field. We will likely just run without you. So your best interest to get this done.
All righty, next slide.
Yay.
So, what happened? I moved that one. Bummer. I moved it because we will not be doing registration on Thursday. We will be doing it on, we won't be doing it on Wednesday. We'll be doing it on Thursday. But we'll just talk about it since it's here now. When you go to register at Pit Admin on Thursday morning, they want the contact name and cell phone number for the team so that should they need to find you or anybody needs to find you during your stay there, they can. They only need a roster if you have added attendees who weren't at a previous district event. So that's only if you have new people. Same thing for the consent forms, only for new people who have not previously turned in consent forms. This is a very important one, number 4. You must bring your own driver buttons. No new buttons will be provided. So be sure to bring yours, and they want to see them at the desk to know that you have them on hand. They also would like you to bring 4 pairs of safety glasses to the table just to prove that you have some safety glasses with you. You should know, or you'll be relieved to know, that pit power is not going to be an issue at Portland because it's being provided by these standard, paid very well people to get you your power, as opposed to your unpaid, not so well taken care of volunteers at the pit. So that will be better for you. And lost and found. We've collected a lot of lost and found from the various districts. We will have it in Portland.
No, we won't.
We won't?
Nope.
Why not?
Long story. You and I talk about it later.
Well, we've been collecting it and passing it from event to event in Oregon.
Yes.
So we will probably have the Oregon stuff.
No, you won't.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Never mind.
All right. We'll talk about it later. Ignore that last item. Okay.
Next.
Next.
The machine shop will be available during pit hours. Same tools, same rules, everything. You need to remember that you need to supply the necessary materials. And if you're caught short on the materials, you can always, or you can often find some to borrow from another team. But same old thing. It will be available on Wednesday night, although with probably only 1 staff person. So if any of you have people who are qualified to work in the machine shop, you might consider having them stop by to offer Paul a hand. All righty. Safety glasses. Did I mention safety glasses enough times yet? Please bring yours and have them available when you enter the pits, including during load-in. Remember that each team needs to provide 2 students and an adult to man a 1-hour shift at the safety glass booth. We would really like to pre-assign the Thursday evening shifts. Things will go much more smoothly if we have them assigned. Maybe it would go actually a lot more smoothly if you all just brought your safety glasses on your face. But So if you could be willing to volunteer to do a shift on Thursday, please email myself or David Porter, the volunteer coordinator, whose email address is at the end of this webinar, that you would be willing to do that.
And I'm willing to bet that, Brenda, did you actually mean Wednesday night?
I'm sorry, I did mean Wednesday night. Yes. Oh, I didn't change that from the last one. Yes, Wednesday evening. We need people pre-assigned for that. So please email David or I. And the practice field runs the same way. If you want the practice field available on Wednesday night, somebody needs to pony up to manning it or it won't be available. So there we go. Alrighty, the next schedule overview for Thursday. The schedule is similar to last year with the exception of the fact that the practice matches will be first come, first served starting at some time in the morning. And will end with a late lunch. And then the drivers meeting, is 2:20 going to be a good time? Because I just pulled that out of a hat.
Oh, well, sure, why not?
Okay.
If we need to move it, we'll let everybody know on Thursday morning.
It will be between lunch and the 3 o'clock start of the qualifying matches. And the question is, exactly what time will it be?
Okay.
And the safety captains meeting notice at 10 o'clock. Next slide.
Oh, and then the mentors. We're going to have a lead mentor meeting at 11 in the Georgia Pacific room.
Yes.
So put that on your schedule. Okay, lovely. Next slide.
You know, I hate to flog a dead horse, but have them with you. Take them with you when you leave on Wednesday night because you need them on your face when you come back on Thursday. Note also that our normal venue access involves a very crowded staircase, so all large items need to arrive during load-in. We don't allow you to carry long objects or big bulky boxes down the stairs into the pit. It's very crowded. It's not a safe situation.
And we will pull you out if you're headed down the stairs with something that one of our staff people deems is a little dangerous or a little unwieldy. Please be gracious. We are going to pull you out of the mass of people going down and make you wait.
So bring it on Wednesday. That's what load-in is for.
Exactly.
Alrighty, next slide. So new this year, there will be a student workshop on scouting. Team 1983 has put together a training that they've been shopping around to various regionals, in my understanding, and it's how to use the Tableau software provided in your kit of parts. This will be at 10:30 to noon on Thursday, and it is likely to be in that room that I'm highlighted at the bottom of the public staircase, but pit admin will know where that meeting is going to be on that day. So sounds like an interesting event. Next slide. Short safety captain meeting at 10 o'clock in a room TBD that, again, pit admin will advertise. Practice rounds. You must pass inspection to run a practice match. Remember that. And they will not be scheduled, but will be first come, first serve. And is this, Kevin, is this going to be show up at the door and line up, or are you going to sign up with queuing in the pit?
I believe we'll probably have sign up with queuing in the pit.
Okay. So there is a queuer who stands at the door right at the entrance door to the pit with a whiteboard, and I assume that's where you'll be signing up.
Yeah, and it'll either be the case that they'll put you on a list or they may just send you straight out to the field.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how it flows.
They'll know the situation.
Yeah.
Alrighty, next slide. And the drivers meeting, which will happen between 1 and 2 and 3, will be out on the field, all the drivers, including your human player, where you will meet the various staff people, including these 3 lovely people here, whom you probably all already know. And so Friday's overview, Friday will run normally as we have in the past at regionals with an opening and a closing ceremony. There will be a mascot parade, and there will be a VIP breakfast, so there will be VIP tours. Because I think we're starting slightly earlier this year, I'm not quite sure how the VIP thing will coordinate. We're looking to line up a drum line, and so the drum line and the mascot parade may start a little earlier because we want to snake through the pits this year and kind of, amp up the excitement level. So stay tuned for that. There will be a mascot meeting on Thursday to plan that. All righty. I don't think there's anything else to say about schedule, is there?
Nope.
And then judging. You can talk about judging.
Absolutely. So at our event, the judging runs just like all of the other events, with the exception of 3 awards. The district, the Chairman's Award, the Engineering Inspiration Rookie All-Star Awards are done differently at this event. There will be specific interviews for all 3 of those awards, and the only teams that will be interviewed are teams who won those awards at a district level event. The Chairman's Award nominees teams, there will be 10 of them, will be interviewed on Friday, most likely in the morning. And we'll be scheduling that at Pit Admin on Thursday afternoon. So you should listen for announcements on that. Same thing with Engineering Inspiration Rookie All-Star. Those will be probably scheduled mostly on Friday and Saturday. And we are still working out the exact when and where that's going to happen. We will have information for you about that on Thursday. Some teams will be winning, who won Engineering Inspiration and Rookie All-Star, are coming only to be judged. They won't be actually competing in the event. If you are one of those teams, I've already contacted you and given you a heads up about what's happening. But you, for everybody else, just so you realize, there will be some teams who are showing up on Friday afternoon and or on Saturday morning to do their interviews.
And did you talk to them about how to schedule their interviews if they're not there at the beginning?
Absolutely not. We haven't figured that out yet.
Okay.
But
and
there
did you
will
talk to
be
them about?
Yeah, we will be in contact with those teams as soon as we know who everybody is. We'll be in contact with you in the next couple of days.
And those teams should be sure and stop by Pit Admin. Diana is planning a fun activity for them to kind of fill their time since they're not competing. So you should stop by Pit Admin and pick that activity up.
Absolutely. One of the great activities is helping us volunteer in various places around the venue.
I actually think they're going to do a scavenger hunt.
Well, that, and we're going to sign them up to volunteer for stuff because they're supposed to. Just kidding. All right, and then if you have students who are Dean's List nominees from district events, there is not an additional interview. We are sending 6 winners, 6 Dean's List finalists to World Championships. The judges are already working on that, and we will be relying on the essays that were written and the previous notes from the interviews. So there is no additional work for the Dean's List nominees, and we'd love to have all the Dean's List nominees there, but you need not be there to win that award. So, and then
all of these awards will be done on Saturday afternoon, right? So
correct.
For the teams who are not competing, if they show up on Saturday, they won't have missed the announcement of an award.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then the other thing to note is that if it wasn't clear, we will have 3 Chairman Award-winning teams at the Portland District Championship. We will have 2 Engineering Inspiration winning teams at District Championship and 1 Rookie All-Star. All 6 of those teams will be eligible to move on to the World Championships in St. Louis. Okay? And then we will be posting a little bit more information about this on our website on a page. Okay?
And will that be on the Portland page of the website?
That will be on the District Championship page on our website, yes.
Okay, yes, okay.
And if your team qualified for both Chairman's and Engineering Inspiration, I believe you are going to get interviewed twice. You are actually eligible to win both awards. You'll likely only win one of them. I'll give you a heads up about that.
But if you did not win Engineering Inspiration at a district event, then you will not be eligible to win Engineering Inspiration at district championships.
Correct. Only teams who won at a district event are eligible for that specific award. Okay. Yay! I think I beat that one.
And don't forget to don't forget to pick your materials up right after the closing ceremony on Saturday at Pit Admin. Every event, we've ended up with a few things left over, and people would like to have them.
Absolutely. All right. Hey, look at this.
So this is the same setup in the stands as previous years, but we have had a fair amount of trouble with Wi-Fi hotspots at our district events, which disrupt the field operation. And it's probable that a lot of people do not understand their gizmos well enough to know that they're broadcasting. So it would be helpful if you took time to explain this concept to the audience that you will bring with you so that they are not inadvertently causing us problems. Nearly everybody I have mentioned this to did not understand what I was talking about, and some of them were actually, you know, potential problems. So, you want to say anything about that, Kevin?
Well, no, I mean, it is a rule of the game, right? So it's in the rules. You're not allowed to.
Yeah, it's just that people. Yeah, I think people don't understand that they're doing it, and so it's an education thing, or a lot of people don't understand.
It is. If you have a GoPro, Pro, I guess, HD GoPro Pro, you are likely transmitting Wi-Fi and not realizing it. So you have to explicitly turn that feature off.
Okay, and the picture here is showing you that the lower seating in the arena where there is electrical power to plug in for scouting. It's pointing out that the orange section, the spirit section, those people stand, and so if you're sitting right behind them, you're not going to be able to see. Don't be surprised. And that over on the left, the VIP section, which we try to rope off and keep clear for our very important paying sponsors, we ask that you not sit in that section when it is roped off, which I believe is typically Friday only. And so please be gracious if you're asked to move out of that section.
And if you are sitting behind the spirit section and are unable to see, move. We're not going to ask the teams to sit down or take a knee or do anything like that.
Because they like to stand there, and they will stand there.
Yes.
Okay.
And
next slide.
Ooh, look at that.
And Saturday's schedule is, I believe, the same as usual as well. And remember that you can help us by packing up and loading out of the pits as soon as you're done competing.
Okay, I guess there's nothing exciting there other than inevitably somebody decides that they didn't qualify for the elimination rounds and goes home. That is the best way to win an award. Every time we do this, one team has left. Don't do that because your kids miss the opportunity to get the applause. So even if
stay for the closing ceremonies.
Yeah, stay for the closing ceremonies, especially rookies. There aren't that many rookies. Stay put.
Good chance you might win.
Yeah.
All righty. And this is just more of the personnel you're going to see in Portland. You're probably familiar with some of these people. So, and then on to, this is one I had changed. Oh, but you've got a different one.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want me to take it from now?
Yeah, and then just to explain to people the importance of this, you don't want to wait until that day to think about might you go to St. Louis. Our team qualified and went the first year, and it never crossed our mind, and we had no clue what was involved, and you have no time. You need to have given it some thought ahead of time.
Exactly. So things you need to consider now, because you are going to the district championship, it is entirely possible that you will be on the winning alliance, which will garner you a whole lot of district ranking points. We are sending the top 24 teams from this event. 6 of them will be judged teams. 18 of them will be the highest ranked teams for the entire district. Now, the points at this event are worth 3 times the points at a district level event. So if you do very well here, you could find yourself zooming way up the rankings in a huge hurry. So even if you're ranked 30th and don't think you have a chance, don't be surprised, or don't let your guard down, because if you're on the winning alliance or even the second place alliance, you actually could become eligible to go to St. Louis. The other thing to realize is that some of the teams are not going to be able to attend. for either financial reasons or other reasons. And so some teams will shift up the ranks. So that could be you. Things to consider now is that, the registration fee to go to the World Championships is a $5,000 registration fee that is paid and worked directly with US First. Airfare seems to be running.
Kevin?
Yeah, hi.
Don't you have to pay that within like 2 days?
Yes.
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 Like Tuesday, it's due.
You have to be prepared to commit to doing it by the Tuesday after the event.
Yep.
And have payment arrangements, which is either, you're rushing them a check or paying with a credit card at that time.
Or a purchase order.
Or a purchase order from the school.
Yep. So, yeah, all of this, everything we're telling you happens very, very quickly. That's why we want you to consider it, have a plan for it, even if you may not use that plan. You may want to pre-load your school with some paperwork and just tell them, hey, just in case, this is what's coming. Okay. Airfare is approximately $500 per person, and we'll talk a little bit more about what we've done to help out with that. Hotel rooms in St. Louis run between $125 to $175 a night. It just depends on where you end up staying. Assuming that you're going to squish 4 or 5 kids in a room.
Probably closer to 200.
Yes,
right now.
Adrian's now looking at me like I'm crazy. I put it 125.
A little closer to 200.
Maybe 200. Okay, so we'll
That's per room or per person?
per person.
Oh, for the 4 nights?
Yep.
Okay, not per night.
Yeah.
No, not per night. That's about if you have a student sharing a room and there's 4 students in the room, you'll probably pay about 200. If there's 3 students per room, it'll be a little bit closer to 250 for Tuesday through Saturday.
Yeah.
Unless you go to Motel 6, in which case, you'll have to do some shopping on that. Okay. So now the big thing is, especially if you're going to St. Louis, you are going to need to make a decision within 24 hours. And the reason in fact, actually, it's more like 18 hours now that I think about it. You'll need to be prepared to tell us whether you're intending to go or not, because we have airline tickets and things that need to get negotiated very quickly. So we'll talk about that here in just a couple of minutes. The other thing to realize is if you're going to St. Louis, your robot will get put back in its bag on Saturday night at Portland. You need to rebag it, reseal it, re-security tie it. And even if you're a team who did not finish in the top 18, if you're in the top 24, you're also going to want to rebag and tag your robot. In the event that a team above you decides not to go, you could become eligible. All right. So your team will need to make provisions to have a crate. Look in the game manual about how to ship your robot to St. Louis. You'll need to have a crate and all ready to go. Now, the shipping, if you are attending championship, shipping is free, so that's awesome. That's a pretty big bill that FedEx is picking up for you. Washington First Robotics has also, we have a truck. The truck is going to go from Kent to St. Louis, so I'm going to tell you that I got more details about that coming up. The last thing is that we have some flights available, and the flights that we have available will help you get your team there on time. Somebody is asking, so a couple of things. Does the winner of the engineering award travel to St. Louis? Yes, Engineering Inspiration not only goes to St. Louis, but the $5,000 entry fee is actually paid by NASA. It's actually a very desirable award to win. Will the teams be able to defer the spot at championships for the next year? I think
usually you can.
Usually
yes.
you can.
I would check. And that's why I pointed to you. I would go on the US First website and check to be sure. If you win, you can call when you go to register. You can call them directly or email and ask that question.
Yeah, and we're going to waffle a little bit on this because we have a fixed allocation of 24 teams to championships.
And we don't want to give you the incorrect information and have you defer and then have them tell you no. So if you do make it, when you go to register, there's a number you can call or an email address. I would ask them that directly and have them answer.
Yes, I agree, because we don't actually know the answer to that. Okay.
And on the crate, Kevin, since for new teams who, they haven't been building crates lately, all the old teams have crates. And so if you suddenly find yourself going to St. Louis and you're a new team, you may be able to borrow a crate from a team who's not going, yes?
Yeah, if you know a team that's less than, I would say, about team number 3,500, I'm going to guess, they may have a crate still. Otherwise, you check the manual. Your team should know what is expected of a crate. There are very specific instructions on building a crate, and check the manual for that. Okay. So next thing. Oh wait, come on, next slide. Go next slide. Not going to the next slide. There it goes. Okay. So here's what we've done. We have a truck. You guys, as many of you have seen it, the big green truck that we dragged around to the district events. Linden Trucking was very, very kind and has borrowed us the trailer, and we have to pay to get it towed from here to St. Louis and back. That's about a $12,000 bill. So we are going to be charging about $600 per pallet per team to take your pits to St. Louis for you. First is requested that we try and only send one truck. So First is not really into allowing too many large trucks. So they were very gracious in allowing us to do this. We can take 24 pit crates with us to St. Louis. $600 for the round trip, which is actually quite reasonable if you look into it. We can take a 48-inch by 48-inch by 48-inch cube. It should weigh less than 1,000 pounds, please. And it should be able to be picked up by a forklift. That's critical, by the way. It needs to be on a pallet, or it has to have a pallet bottom on it. We do have the ability to take some oversized pallets, and those will be $1,000 per round trip. And the maximum height you can go is 96 inches, and that's going to be somewhat unstable. So, but if you need to go over, that's what it's going to cost. The reason is that we are double stacking all of this stuff. The trailers that we have a pallet rack system in them. If you go over 48 inches, you're going to take up 2 spots. So that's how it goes. Now, we are taking with us to Portland, I believe we have room for 14 pallets. And we're anticipating that if you are a Portland, or if you are an Oregon or Eastern Washington team, if you're more than, say, a 2 or 3 hour drive from Portland, and you would like to load up your pit onto one of our pallets or bring your own crate, we will haul it back to Kent for you. No additional charge or anything. And we will bring it back to our warehouse and load it on the truck for you to go to St. Louis. Okay? If you are up here and you're within a 2 hour drive of Kent, we're going to ask you to be gracious and not take up a spot on our truck. Regardless, if you would like to take advantage of this, your pit materials need to be in that crate, or need to be at our warehouse in Kent, Washington before 5 p.m. on April 18th, so that we can load it on, I'm sorry,
That's
April
17th.
Thank you. Thursday, April 17th. The truck leaves on April 18th. We need a little bit of time to load the truck. So we're expecting you to do your best to get here. If you're unable to get your stuff onto the Portland truck, you can bring it back. You're welcome to bring it up to us anytime that week. Call and make arrangements for that. Our pallets that we're providing are 48 inches by 40 inches, and they're 5 inches tall. The 48 by 40 pallets, it's just a standard pallet that we bought. Okay, so we'll take your materials back to our office in Kent from Portland on our truck. You are not shipping your robot on our truck. That has to go FedEx. It's required that it goes FedEx. So this is only for your pits and supplies. We will have more details. I'm looking at Adrian. Did we put them up yet?
The details are now posted on the website. There are 3 different documents posted on the website now. Yeah.
So you can download more details about that off the website you're seeing right there. Okay. All right. If you plan on driving your own trailer, can we take your robot? No, you may not. Your robot must go via FedEx. Twice as many teams and districts in large practice field.
We have 2 practice fields.
Bruce has asked if there's going to be more practice field space at Portland. Yes, we're bringing both of our practice fields. Okay, so any questions about us taking your pits to St. Louis? We will have details about how you get your pit materials in St. Louis as soon as FIRST tells us what those are. We don't. All of this happened Monday.
We don't know those details yet.
Yeah. This all happened Monday. Okay. We qualified for St. Louis. Let's talk airfare. Here's what we've got. We have reserved 200 airline tickets that from SeaTac on the direct flight to St. Louis. We changed how we allocate them slightly because if you look at the St. Louis schedule, load in in St. Louis is at 3 o'clock on Wednesday.
At 5 on Wednesday.
So 3 o'clock Wednesday, the load in happens, which means you can come in and set up your pit. 5 o'clock, you can start working on your robot. That means that you need to be there on Wednesday afternoon. We're going to start our initial allocation by having 5 tickets for 20 teams available for the Tuesday direct flight from SeaTac. That way you are there on Wednesday. Okay. So that our initial goal is to get everybody, their pit crew and such in position in St. Louis appropriately. We have another additional 100 tickets for the Wednesday flight, and then we have return tickets both on Saturday evening and on Sunday evening. The details about this are on that website right there. If you would like to take advantage of them, please understand how the process works by checking into that document. Okay. We will reiterate the fact that we really hope that we can use all 200 of these airline tickets. Otherwise, Washington First Robotics will be bankrupt, and this will be the last year of FIRST in the Pacific Northwest because we are on the hook for $112,500 for these tickets. So we appreciate your help in using those up. Okay. So check out the documentation up there. That is everything that we know about it. Okay, how did that go? Any questions on that? What day do we need to arrive if we're traveling as winners of the engineering award but not competing on the field?
They're competing on the field.
Okay, so Michael has asked, what day do we need to arrive if we're traveling as winners of the engineering award but not competing on the field? If you're talking about Portland, you can arrive on Friday, or if you're not thinking that you're going to spend the night, you can come on Saturday morning. We will send out more details to all of the teams who qualify in that regard.
That was a St. Louis question.
St. Louis, you are competing with your robot. That is how it works. So Engineering Inspiration competes with their robot in St. Louis. Okay, your registration fee is paid. Your shipping is paid.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then Glenn asked a perfectly reasonable question, and so we'll give it to everybody, the same answer to everybody. Are there any provisions for tickets from Spokane? And I'm going to infer also Portland. We used up all of our available funding or available risk getting the 200 tickets from Alaska, but it was on the direct flight from Seattle to St. Louis. In order to do it from Portland required a different airline, and they wanted us to buy the tickets up front. And we did not have the financial wherewithal to do that. So the only tickets that we have go out of Seattle. So we appreciate the fact that that may or may not be useful for the Portland teams. We're trying to do our best, but we just don't have infinite resources. Okay.
You might be able to take the train, depending on the hour of the departure. The train goes pretty close to the airport from Portland.
Yep. Take a look at the documentation on the district championship website, and you can make your own determinations on that. Okay. I think. Oh, hey, look at this. That's the last slide. Woo. So the slides and the lunch order form.
Hotels.
Oh, we forgot to talk about hotels. We forgot the hotel slide. I didn't put up the hotel slide.
Do you want me to go over it really quickly?
Yeah.
So there's also a document on the website from Steel Meetings. Steel Meetings has set aside some hotels for Pacific Northwest teams. There is a document and a link to a form that you can fill out. You will not see these rooms if you go to the US First site because they've set them aside. So if you have rooms that are further away, these rooms are right downtown, you have the option of moving your rooms, or you have the option of making reservations, and the document is on the website. I think that Kevin is going to show it now. If you have any questions, this is all directly through Steel Meetings. Washington First really isn't involved at all, other than I put the information up on the website. So.
Yeah, so basically, I'm not even going to bother showing this. It's too small to read. If you go to the district championship site, webpage, it's right up here. Go to firstwa.org, FRC District Championship. If you go down to the bottom, there's the box lunch order form if you need it. There will be links to these slides that you're looking at right now, and also the link to the video of this presentation for others who need to see it. And then the information about airline tickets, pitch shipping info, and the hotels are right down here at the bottom. So we are not travel agents. And there's just basically it's Adrian and I, and honestly we have other things we have to do. So we're really unable to help you with a whole lot with the hotel bookings. Steel Meetings has got all this set up for you. They know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. We're going to defer any questions you send us about it to them. So we'll just save you the extra reply. Contact them directly.
Yeah, we have no pull with them, so there's no phone call that we can make to help you out. But the best thing to do is fill out their form.
Yep. Okay. So I'll go back to this. So
Kevin?
Yeah, hi, Brenda.
Is there some team, we found when we went that our best source of information was another team who had been there for considerations about logistics and stuff. Is there some team out here who has put together information and has it on a website, do you know?
About traveling to St. Louis?
Well, just, yeah, in general, about what it takes to go to and what kind of, here's how you go about going on to the next event.
I am, if somebody does that, if you would type a link to your site, if you have one of those in your question box, I would appreciate it, and we'll forward that to everybody. I am not aware of one, Brenda.
Okay. Just a thought.
Yeah. So with that, now you know where the slides are. You know where the lunch order form is. You can email me. Brenda is correct. My inbox gets very, very full, plus I'm running events for the next 2 weeks. Brenda is as well, but she seems to do, she's much more better about answering email in a timely fashion than I am. So Brenda is a fountain of knowledge, and if she doesn't know, she'll ask the appropriate people. So we really appreciate everybody being gracious and professional, helping us out with all of this. We realized that there was this late schedule change, and the reality is we didn't really change the hours, but we did change the tasks that need to happen on Wednesday. It is not required that you be there at 5, but it is your opportunity to, if you need to do something to your robot, to come in and get that done. So we
and please let us know if you won't be there on Wednesday.
Yes.
So that we can know that plan.
Okay.
Kevin, how many teams have actually been invited at this point to the event?
We have officially invited 40 teams as participating teams or competing teams. We have invited 2 teams as judged teams, and we have given notice to 6 other teams who will either be judged teams or competing teams based on whether the outcome of this weekend. The additional spots, it's just too close to call at this point. We have to wait until after OSU. And
because I noticed there were 39 teams out there on the First WA site registered.
There are, yes, on the US First site, there are 39 teams registered already, yes. So thank you to those 39 teams. All right, so the rest of us, I'm still expecting the cutoff point to be somewhere around the 58 to 60 ranking points mark. Having said that, it is possible that some of the teams will opt not to play, so that may drop a little bit. And something wacky could happen at OSU. We honestly don't know what the results will be for this weekend. So, okay. Stacy has asked, box lunch deadline is today, so there's no box lunch option for teams on the bubble, question mark? No, we actually got that changed to April 7th. You have until April 7th. I believe the form may still say this.
The form was a PDF, and it still says the 2nd.
Yes.
But
can you maybe put that text on the website so people understand that?
Yes, we will add a little blurb to the website on that. Can we provide your own 48 by 48 pallet crate at Portland? Yes, please. You're more than welcome to. We're bringing literally pallets. I bought 24 of them today. Turns out a brand new pallet, in case you're wondering, costs $11.15. Wasn't too bad. But if you want to provide your own pallet, yes. We can also take your 48 by 48 by 48 cube and stick it on top of one of our pallets. So either way is fine. Yeah, keep in mind that whatever you're putting on this pallet is either need to be, we're going to either shrink wrap it to the pallet, or you can put sides on the pallet, or build a cube to pack everything in. We highly recommend doing that. We're being very gracious and allowing you quite a bit of weight, so you can put your batteries and your toolboxes and all that sort of stuff. If you do need really long storage, we can, if you have a whole bunch of 8-foot stuff, some of the pits have long stuff in them. Let me know, Kevin R.O. at firstwa.org, if you have things that are long and skinny, and we may be able to make some provisions if I can gang a whole bunch of people's long and skinny stuff together. And we'll kind of have to figure that out. Again, this plan has existed basically since Wednesday afternoon, so it not everything was fully thought through on this. Does the dimension of the pit crate include the pallet? Great question, Ken. Our pallets are 5 inches tall, so if you wanted to have a we will accept a 48 by 48 by 48 cube that sits on top of a pallet. Hopefully that made sense. Therefore, if you brought us a crate that was what, 48 by 48 by 53 inches tall, that has a fork, provisions for forklift on the bottom, we're fine with that. This is a little bit shorter than what FIRST has allowed in the past for robot crates. We apologize about that, but we have to double stack. We have to double stack the load in order to fit everybody into the truck. So there is a reason for that. Any other questions?
Yeah, right up above. This one right here.
That one right there. At some other district championships, engineering inspiration and rookie all-star teams set up tables if they don't have a pit. Yes, Kevin, we will have. We have an additional 10 tables coming. We will have an area set up somewhere. We haven't 100% figured that out yet because we weren't sure how many to allocate space for, but there will be a table for you to set up. The judges are not necessarily going to come looking for you at that table, but it would be really cool if you wanted to set up a display and tell people about your team and do all of the things that you are awesome at. So we'd love to see it. It will not be a full pit setup. It'll be probably a 10-foot by 5-foot area, so it won't be as deep, and it'll probably have a single 30 by 60-inch table. But we will have something set up for you. Okay, hopefully that made sense. Any other questions that people would like to ask? Hey, I think we're done.
Cool.
We have a whole bunch of, can we talking about that?
Sure. What are we talking about?
Oh, we got a bunch of kids out in the,
Oh, we can't talk about that.
oh, never mind. I can't talk about that.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. We have a secret and we can't tell you. All right. Brenda, thank you so much for all the organization that you've done on this event. Brenda is probably the most organized person in all of the Pacific Northwest District, and we're in awe of her ability to drill down on details. So we thank you so much for that, Brenda.
Well, I do feel like we revisited every decision we made at least twice and changed it at least 3 times.
Well, now we know we got a good decision. Che, if you are asking what time should we get there for field setup, volunteers, field setup is at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. If you wanted to show up at 12:30 or so, that's fine, but we usually give the professional AV people from 8 a.m. until about 1 o'clock to get their job done. So you don't need to show up really much earlier than 1. All right. Well, with that, I go enjoy the rest of the evening, and we will see you all in Portland and or at OSU. We're going to OSU tomorrow. Mm-hmm. All right. Good night, everybody.
Have a good time.
Good night.